Happy Republic Day. Before we celebrate this wonderful event, it's my wish to remember a life of an armyman who upholds our country from past 75 years. A life of an armyman is not just a life. It is a sacrifice, a commitment, and moreover, the strong responsibilities on a young shoulder. Because our average age of an armyman is 23 years. His short-haired, tight-muscled kid whose circumstance is considered to be a half man and a half boy in the society. It is not yet dried behind his ears, or not old enough to buy a beer from the capital, but is old enough to die for the country. He's just a school or a college graduated boy who might have pushed up himself in few sports activities, or broke up with his girlfriend when he left to IMA, or kept his swear that he'll be back when the half of the world is away from him. He's 5 to 7 kilos lighter when he returns back home. You know why? It is because he may be standing in the icy Himalayas from before dawn to well after dusk, or fighting with the terrorists in Kashmir, or standing in the Gulwan Valley protecting our country against the cheating China. He has a trouble in spelling. Thus, letter writing is a pain for him, but he can strip a rifle within 30 seconds and reassemble it even in less time in the dark. He can recite the nomenclature of a machine gun and a grenade launcher and use one effectively when he must. He can dig foxholes and latrines and apply first aid like a professional. He can march until he is told to stop and stop until he is told to march. He obeys all the instructions and orders without any hesitation, but with spirit and individual dignity. He never lacks with self-respect and is always self-sufficient. He has 2 sets of combat dress. He washes one, but he wears the other one. He keeps his water bottle full, but his feet's dry. He can share his water when you're thirsty, his food when you're hungry, and also splits his ammunition when you run low in the mid of the battlefield. A mistake of a corporate can be recovered in the next quarter. When an army man died in the battlefield, the nation found a new hero. But his child lost his or her father. An army man goes to the battlefield not because he hates his enemy or his opponent. He goes to the battlefield because he loves his people behind him. It's me and you. He may forgets to brush his teeth, but never forgets to clean his rifle. It may be in the battlefield or in the bark. He has learned to use his hands like his weapons and weapons like his hands. The most important thing, he can save your life or even kick it because he's trained for both. An army man often does the work of civilian twice in his life. Though he is paid half, he finds ironic humor in it all. He sometimes wept in the private or in the public for his friend who's fallen into the combat and is not ashamed to do that so. Every note of Janagana Mana just vibrates through his body during direct attention and the burning desire towards people who never bothered to stand or remove their hands from their pocket. And he defends their right to be disrespectful. He's paying his price of life for our freedom. The tricolor somewhere in his uniform. The tricolor he holds high. The tricolor he flourishes with pride after every mission. And sometimes he's also wrapped with a tricolor back home. Beardless or not, he's not just a boy. He's our nation's fighting man who protects and defends our right to freedom. He has seen a lot of deprivation and diversity in a very young age. He has seen his body is falling for the bullets. And therefore he says, if I die in the battlefield, box me and send me home. Put my medals on my chest. Tell my mom I did my best to save my motherland. Tell my dad no need to go. He no need to take tension about me. Tell my bro to study hard. The key of my bike will be permanently yours. Tell my sis not to cry. Her brother will take a long sleep after the sunset. Tell my nation not to be sad. I am a soldier, born to die in the battlefield. The uniform which I wear is not purchased. It is earned by the cost of my life. Jai Hind.